It is that time again on a Friday. It's time to hang out with myself, you guys, Brad. We're going to have a good day today because we're going to talk about work culture, friends, game shows, work friends being on game shows, and any t-shirt questions you have or any questions about life or whatever you want to talk about, pop culture, whatever. And you're going to get a free t-shirt if you ask a question. All that and more on today's What's in the Box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Man, I was struggling getting through the intro there. My brain's been kind of foggy. I don't know.
Sometimes we all struggle.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of cool stuff. Owning a new building is pretty crazy. Like we've talked about before, we added a new location to Terminus Tees. We didn't get rid of the old one. We just bought the building next to us. So now we've doubled in size. We don't have the new machines to go in there yet, but we are preparing for the merch takeover. That's where we take over printing more merchandise. That's probably implied in that. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Like I said before, you guys, all you have to do is ask a question. Engage with us. Give us a topic to talk about. We have some stuff we'll talk about if you don't ask questions. But you get a free t-shirt for asking that question. And Brad loves giving away t-shirts because Brad gets to print more t-shirts. And the more we give away, the more we get to print. And it really makes Brad happy when we print t-shirts.
Math.
Like the quantity of t-shirts, just, or is that what you mean by math?
Just more out, more in,
More out, more in. That's also the way Brad feels about food.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you get it out of your body, the more you can put it into your body.
Yes.
Sorry if we're a little crass sometimes, but that's just who we are. No, we make fun of everything. And that's why I like working here. That's why I got a job here at Terminus Tees. No, I created my own job by creating a company, then invited, some friends and family, and also through the process of the typical hiring process, I guess you would say, found all different kind of cool people. And one thing I'm really proud about here is we have a really fun work culture, and I hope you guys do too. I don't know if you guys work at an awesome place that you're pumped about being out every day, but I feel real great about coming in every day here. And I really get that feeling that a lot of people that work here don't just look at this as a typical clock in, clock out, 9 to 5. Yes, we're here to do a job, but we're also here to enjoy life because life's too short not to enjoy what you do and get up every day and go do that. By the way, if you live in the Woodstock area, we're always looking for good people. We got some sales positions open, so if you're ever interested in communicating with people and telling them about what we do and helping us get more accounts in, we actually have awesome opportunities and a lot of really cool ways we do it here that might be different. So it's not really a sales thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever thought about that, about like the typical, what someone might envision a sales guy doing, but I don't know. Brad, have you ever done a sales job before? No. Brad, he just sells you on his charm. Charm.
I don't think I've ever. I think I could sell things. I'm very persuasive, but I've never done anything that would require me to sell something. Talk to a few customers. A lot of the times when customers come in and they want to talk to me specifically, it's because they've seen us on here.
Yeah.
And one, that's cool because it's like that little micro celebrity type feel. And a lot of them, they'll just listen to me like nerd out and talk. And it's crazy because one, I don't like the sound of my voice. Two, I tend to get really specific, and I think most people find specificity boring in a lot of circumstances. But some people, they'll just look at me and like nod their head and smile and just eat it up. I'm like, this is so cool. You like me. You really like me.
Well, I can't even say that.
Specificity. It's difficult.
Having a lot of details about things is not a bad thing. It's how you present those. So that's part of the, I guess you would say, salesy side of it, even though. But anyways, we do have a question about embroidery. Brad can digest this, but I will say this. our salespeople here, if you want to call it, it's more like account representatives or they kind of advocate for the customer between what the customer needs and what we can do here and make sure they get on the schedule and all the artwork's in here, all the artwork's approved, and then basically everything comes together. So it's almost like an inside project manager kind of thing going on for the for the customer to the company, kind of like a wedding planner, but for t-shirts. So yeah, that's kind of what it's like. So yeah, it's not so much knocking on doors, but actually we don't even leave here when we do that kind of stuff. We just connect with people and make sure everything's done for them and they get them on time. Being on time in the t-shirt world is so important, and that's one of the biggest values for us besides printing great shirts. But yeah, work culture, we have all different kind of people working here. And we're pretty easygoing, you know. But yeah, so what do we want to talk about today? Well, we had a question.
Yeah, Lil Peta said, "Is doing embroidery on a shirt harder to do in some places than others, like on the sleeves, shoulders, waist, and so on?" I don't know. I would imagine, but I don't know.
Yeah, we do screen printing here and digital printing basically on any kind of ink application to the t-shirt itself. Now, we do embroidery in the sense of the best way to say it without being like, hey, we're a middleman for that, but we have a great embroiderer down the street from us that we've helped. He's helped us out, we've helped them out, and they do a great job. So we basically help that happen. You can place an order with us and we kind of manage it all happening anyway. We do know enough about it. It's a little tricky, but a lot of the new embroidery machines can do, I think it's even more than 360 embroidery now. Some weird off equal number. It's not like 180, 90 and 180, 360. It's something weird like 397 degree printing, or embroidering. But basically, the jig that holds the hat on there that normally you would just get that little area on the front, or just the sleeve you're doing, if the machine can turn and do it. So it could go around the sleeve, it could go around the hat, and back of the hat to the side of the hat if you ever want to do like some really cool affliction style. Yeah, if you want like eagle wings coming around the back of your head, you can do that. You know, so there's so many cool things you can do with embroidery nowadays. We talked about this before, but we're looking at getting one day this new school embroidery machine that basically dyes the thread unlimited colors. It's almost like the mixture of DTG and embroidery, but it live dyes the thread as it's stitching it onto the hat or the garment or whatever we're talking about. So, but yeah, it's not that stuff is harder or not. What's going to happen in most cases, the machine will be set up to be able to do it. And so the machine's doing all the hard work. So it's more of a question is it possible to embroider on a certain area or not? That's kind of similar to the way it is in screen printing. There are, depending on the attachments we put on our machines, like to be able to print all the way down a sleeve, it's not, and Brad, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's not necessarily harder.
It is more difficult.
Just kidding, it is more difficult. I'm wrong.
Anything that has a smaller, because a sleeve isn't wide, you know, it's not big. So you're stuffing, you know, with glue and all that good stuff. You got to put it on there delicately. You got to be a little bit more careful pulling it off so you don't warp it. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah, I think not to backpedal, but what I was, I think, aiming at is if we want to do a sleeve, they make a special attachment for our press that a sleeve would go on.
Yes.
What you would never want to do is try to lay a screen across a regular t-shirt setup. It's called a platen is what you put the shirts on. But if you were just to lay a sleeve across the long ways and be like, let me print a portion down here and then start another screen through here, it would never line up perfectly. It would be the worst looking thing you've ever seen in your life. So they make an attachment for doing sleeves. They make an attachment for doing short sleeves, pocket printing, inside the tag printing. And then there's certain things we can do in a regular setup, like that little print on the back of it.
A nape.
A nape. Some people call it a locker patch.
Locker patch, nape, collar. I've always called it a collar just because it's close to the collar. That's my least favorite print, I think, aesthetically. is a
Really?
collar. Yeah.
You know what's funny is because I would say in the late 90s to early 2000s, like when record labels were starting to get involved with like the merch making of the band, you would see so many people that have their band logo on the front or the band.
Rise Records
And by the way,
on
they
the
were
back.
called logos back in the day. Hey man, can you print my logo on a t-shirt?
I need my logo.
My rock and roll band logo?
Made it on paint.
That's we should do that one day as an episode on screen print isms. Like all the words in our industry that are funny to hear and that are said. I don't want to say the word incorrectly because that sounds mean, but more things that
Misnomered.
misnomered. I like that. That's great. Yes.
Doss Overhouse said, "Hey guys, I will be sending you a new design really soon. Please, thank you. We've missed you, Doss Overhouse Designs. It's been a minute since we printed some hand-drawn motorcycles. Really cool stuff. Check out Doss Overhouse Designs. Plug yourself in the comments, please." And top hair, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my hair today. It's doing some weird stuff.
I didn't even notice anything. I shaved my beard a little bit this morning,
I noticed that.
so I didn't notice anything. Like, I mean, it's a little lighter.
It's a little lighter.
So
Drew told me my beard was looking good the other day.
it is looking really good. Yeah, sometimes I forget Brad's got a full beard because sometimes he had the
Goatee.
goatee going.
I don't really have a full beard because I can't grow hair on my cheeks.
Well, you're doing okay. It just has to fill in. You got to let it. You got to.
You're doing okay.
You're doing good.
You're doing fine. It's fine.
You're working it out, man. You just got to let it go, man, and let your body explore itself and create.
My dad had a beard when he was like 14 years old.
I mean,
Just like, he looked like Jesus.
I know that was always frustrating when you, growing up, and you always see like your 7th grade friend who can grow a full beard.
Yeah.
That was me, by the way.
You were a hairy
that guy?
young man.
I could grow a full beard, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I started shaving when I was like...
We're not friends anymore.
But little Peter, we're gonna send you a shirt. Put them on the free shirt list. We have to make sure we do that. By the way, if we've ever said we owe you something for free and you haven't gotten it, we're doing our best. We got to come up with the best system we can on making sure you guys get that.
Really just bother us.
Yeah, just bother us to be like, hey jerks, you said you send me a free T-shirt.
Hey, you losers.
So yeah, just say that. We'll respond pretty quick.
Or scallywags.
Yeah,
Anybody
that's totally fine.
Anybody that messages scallywags.
Of course. Where did we leave off? We got a little bit of, you guys are noticing a little something different with Brad's hair going on there. I understand
I
that.
don't know what the heck they're talking about.
Me neither. Things happen. Work culture stuff. We were talking about that before. It's really fun to work with a bunch of people that we all want to get some good work done, but then we can talk about pretty much anything we want to talk about. We talk a lot about food. We talk a lot, basically everything we talk about on this thing, we talk about with each other, about what's printable, what's not, what's our favorite movies, favorite food, and a lot of jokes, a lot of memes, and a lot of silliness going on around here. And we like that, so it's really fun. Really fun thing is that even, we know, because, how do I say it? We know that employees come and go, that's a thing. And one of our awesome friends, Kaylee, recently, she was on, and I say she used to work here. Kaylee was on Wheel of Fortune.
Yep.
And coincidentally enough, fun fact, Drew told me this, so I don't know if it's true. So Drew needs to Google himself. Pat Sajak retiring? Is that
He
what I
died.
heard? He died?
He transcended.
Yeah, he transcended.
His last day was on Friday. There's a farewell speech and everything that you can watch on YouTube.
I watched the whole thing.
Like this Friday or last Friday?
Last Friday. He's officially retired.
Who's taking over for Pat Sajak?
Drew Carey.
It's Ryan Seacrest.
Really?
Yeah.
From American
That's what I
Idol?
read.
Has he not been on American Idol in a long time?
So
I mean,
Ryan Seacrest is Dick Clark, and now he's Pat Sajak.
Yes. Yeah. So Ryan Seacrest. I think he have a radio show.
Yep.
For
Still
a
does,
while.
probably. On Star 94?
Yeah.
Was it on Star 94?
I don't think anybody could beat Steve Harvey with for the most shows happening at one time. So he's got everything from Family Feud to talk shows, the kids say the darndest things kind of shows.
The Family Feud clips on the internet are some of the silliest things that you will ever see.
Yeah. It's half of every game show now is just Steve Harvey looking at the camera surprised.
Yeah. Because everyone's like, it ain't a family show anymore. I'm like, I don't think it was ever a family show.
We had some friends growing up that were on Family Feud. It was a lady who used to do concerts for us in the Atlanta area. Like her kids liked all the touring bands back in the day, and she was like the soccer mom of music. So she would book shows, and everybody would go to the shows because they were good bands. She figured out how to book the really cool bands, and I would have to say that's probably the first time I've ever seen or interacted with Drew. Really, was at some of those old shows when we were younger. So yeah, the show would be over and she'd walk in with a griddle and start making pancakes for the band. God. I think it was Concert Mom Productions. Her name was Barb. Anyways, her family, her name was Barb. She was Barb. And her family was on Family Feud. So Jesse and Barb and the rest of the family, they were on Family Feud. And that was great to watch them and see people you know. So we got to experience that kind of feeling again recently with Kaylee. I don't think she won the grand prize, but I think she won some hearts that day, is what happened. So yeah, Kaylee, I was kind of jealous when I found out that she was on Family Feud. I would like to see one of our employees get on The Price is Right. So yes, if you guys could help us get an employee on Price is Right, that would be great. Who do you think would be the best on Price is Right who would win Price is Right out of all of the employees here?
Tim, or you. You or Tim.
You or Tim? Tim would do great. I actually wanted to see if we could bring Tim up here with me and you one day.
And
Any day.
Play Plinko.
Well, not just hang out and be on the What's in the Box show with us. Because I think Tim has a lot to show the world. I think he's a great person.
He is a great person.
Yeah. That would be fun for us to start bringing guest employee appearances, That would be fun. I would have a good time with that.
Just a whole panel.
That way, guys, you can hear more voices and faces besides Brad and I. So, yeah. Well, who's this? Kaylee Berger? Who's that?
Thurman tripping.
What is he talking about? I was about to say we should bring Thurman on. Thurman would be a great person to have on. Mick? I would love to have Mick up here.
Thurman's not actually real.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but I really think we're all just imagining him.
What if you and I took a week off and just put Mick and Thurman in here, 0 instructions, and just watch?
Sans Drew.
I mean, Drew could be up here, but Drew's not allowed to do much other than just produce. No direction.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, that'd be some.
I really want to see
that's some content right there. Oh man, it'd be Mick. The other day, I was looking at Mick's Instagram, and he just has a video entitled Muay Thai. It's just him kicking a bat.
Can we showcase that? Would you guys like to see more of Mick? If you don't know who Mick is, watch some of our videos. He's in the famous Terminus Now video where he flies away into the sunset in one of our boxes.
Yep.
And
he vanishes too.
He's in The Vanishing, a new clip, a new film by Terminus Tees. You can watch that on YouTube, Instagram, all the places. But yeah, you guys should check out Mick. He is a character. No, I love Mick to death.
He needs a girlfriend too. So,
really?
Oh yeah, Mick needs a girlfriend.
I thought that was just never a problem for him.
He needs a girlfriend. He needs somebody.
So yes, if you need a boyfriend,
I'm just a friend.
A friend. Start there. I think that's a good place to start.
I'm just a friend, yeah. Go on like a walk, hold hands maybe.
It'd be like we could film a Terminus produced rom-com reality show.
God.
A blind date for Mick.
Meeting Mick. Mick meetups.
Mick and me.
Mick and me? Oh, come on. Guys, we're going to do it. Mick and me is...
Who was that directed at, Becca? Me or John?
You sound like Buffalo Bill. Oh, Buffalo Bill. It puts the lotion in the baskets.
Well, yeah, but
I'm hurt.
yeah, my feelings are singed.
It sounds like Buffalo Bill. Are we talking about doing something creepy?
I mean, me and Mick are gonna go on a date. I'll give him a good time. We can film it.
So yeah, we will get John the voice effect. Do I have a voice effect on me right now?
It's like really.
We
low.
are literally all freaking out. Like, we've had some weird stuff happen. We've had special effects happen randomly in our show that we didn't ask for. I think like metal hands. Does that work? No?
Is it this way or that way?
That way? See, we have special effects built into our software. We
peace
just
sign?
don't know how to make it fire off. You know?
Oh,
I don't know.
Do it again, John.
Like this? Like this? Is it because of the background? I probably look totally crazy just sitting here, metal handsing it up. We got peace signs, everything. We used to. It's based off of like hand signals, and unless they just took the abilities away and didn't tell us, and we're sitting here trying to make things awesome.
Oh, super low voices. That's just like audio lag. That's our internet being silly.
Super low voices. Like, oh, does it sound like we're in the silhouette? Like when they try to hide somebody's identity?
Hello. My name's.
My cousin Zach was in the basement. He's making ecstasy. If you've never seen Seth Galifianakis do his thing, no, it's Zach Galifianakis' alter ego called Seth Galifianakis. And there's a really funny scene where he wants to hide his identity after he's already started the video, which is really funny to me.
Is that in the movie? What's that? Is it what's it called? Masterminds. Is that in Masterminds?
Well, Masterminds is hilarious. That part's not in there. The character from Masterminds is similar to Seth Galifianakis, like very similar.
Yeah.
A little more refined version of him, like a more acceptable in public version of him would be in from The Campaign. His name's Marty Huggins in that one.
Marty Huggins.
And then in one of the episodes of Between Two Ferns with Sean Penn, Seth Galifianakis hosted that because his brother Zach was out of town or something like that. But he was making the funniest jokes. He's talking to Sean Penn and he goes, "Do you have a brother named Ballpoint?" I mean, that's a good joke. It's a good spoof.
I remember seeing him for the first time before like The Hangover and everything. And it was on Netflix, Live at the Purple Elephant or Purple Onion or whatever.
Yeah. So live at the Purple Onion, there's like breaks throughout the comedy, and it's most of those breaks. Well, a good bit of them are Seth Galifianakis like interviews.
It's been a minute.
And there's a couple just like kind of like road tour footage and stuff like that. But if you've never seen Live at the Purple Onion, it's one of the best. Like, it's very crowd work heavy actually. You know, I don't know if that's, I never really watched too much of his stand-up. I just definitely knew him away from the movies, from all the pictures, all the different picture shows that he was in.
It's definitely, there's very select few stand-up comedians that I enjoy. And he's one of them because he's the bit where he's like, if you love Barry Manilow, you're going to love Insane Clown Posse. And I thought that was at 16, 17 years old, I was just dying on the floor, like literally on the floor laughing. And it was the funniest thing to me.
Yes.
And he spells out his name on the the flipboard or whatever, like they're in kindergarten or something. It's very funny. If you love Barry Manilow, you're gonna love Insane Clown Posse. You ever listen to Insane Clown Posse?
No, but I do.
We got any juggalos in the chat?
Juggalettes. I did see a really awesome TikTok video about a guy whose friend who passed away, who they were at the gathering of the Juggalos, and he wanted his ashes to be put in a bottle of Faygo at the gathering of the Juggalos, and they found out that when you put human ashes inside of a Faygo bottle,
It explodes.
it acts like
Yep.
Mentos,
Carbon.
and
Lots of carbon.
the guy's ashes made the Faygo explode and bubble out and pour all over the Juggalos. It's pretty much one of the most insane things I've ever heard.
Not insaner than Insane Clown Posse.
And that's why they call it the Insane Clown Posse. Juggalos just need Juggalos. That's what will bring that community together and get them out of like gang status. I mean,
A gang of clowns.
I thought Juggalos were at like the FBI have them as a gang now, like
a
categorized,
terrorist organization?
like M13,
Wow, no.
Al Qaeda, Juggalos,
and a bunch of clowns.
and the Insane Clown Posse Juggalos.
Remember the clowns that were popping up like late
Yeah,
to 2010s?
I know where you're going with this. It's terrifying what Brad's talking about. Like there was, I saw some in Marietta.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a purple car with neon green underneath it, and everybody looked like the beginning of is it the Dark Knight?
Yeah.
You remember the Joker face when they're all breaking into the bank or whatever? There's a car full of those dudes driving around. So that's not as creepy. I think they were just trying to be like, hey, we're the Joker. You know what I mean? But what Brad's talking about is this thing where people would look at their security footage or Ring cameras, and there would just be a clown, you know, insane, but not in a posse.
Mm-mm.
Just one.
Singular, one.
And just be hanging outside of your door or in your yard, just looking at you at your Ring camera, and doing things like that. I think they were just kind of like around. I don't know if there was many incidents of people being harmed. I think were making their presence known, you know. So it had a vibe of like ghost footage mixed with clowns. And there's a documentary about a clown that would do that. It was a demented looking clown, and you would call this number and then leave a voicemail saying where your friend's address. It's kind of like swatting, but with a crazy clown. And this guy was doing this and terrifying people. And I think somebody had a heart attack or something at some point, which is understandable, by the way. And there's a documentary on Netflix about that.
Really?
Yeah. Drew, do you know what that's called? Or could you look that up? I have not watched it. This is making me want to watch it. It was like one of those things that was on my list to do on my to-do list. No, to watch the crazy clown documentary. But speaking of crazy clowns, we printed some shirts for that Terrifier movie.
Yep.
Do you think that was just a big Terrifier promo?
Dude, I think Terrifier was released before that happened.
Maybe. Because creepy clowns that's just a thing. I mean, I don't know. Do you know anybody who loves clowns?
I like clowns.
Like, okay.
I like clowns. I think, especially like balloon animal clowns. I remember the first time I went into a Culver's. It was in like right outside of. It was like early into Tennessee. We were going up to Indiana, and the time my ex-girlfriend's brother was terrified of clowns, and there was a clown in there making balloon animals, and I had some, I had tip money in my pocket, so I just kept on getting dude to make me. I got a sword, a crown, like there's picture proof, but like I've never been scared of clowns, and I've always, I think they're happy. I've always liked, I've always liked him. Never been scared of him. Even after watching it at a very young age.
Yeah.
Because he's not really a clown. He's, an eldritch horror, whatever.
Yeah, for me, clowns have just been kind of like whatever, don't really care, or just kind of off-putting a little bit, or when they look creepy, you're trying to make them look creepy. I'm going to think they're creepy. But I think anybody in the dark looking at my Ring camera would terrify me.
Yeah,
The
especially
clown-
if they're standing like perfectly still.
Clown outfit just adds this level of like, what are you
who
doing?
are you?
If
Yeah.
anything, the clown outfit would make me think, okay, you're trying to scare people. But if you saw someone literally just wearing like a burlap sack over his head,
And strangers.
yeah, something like that, or just anyone. And plus, through night vision, everybody's eyes look all
Glowy.
glowy and demented. So I mean, anybody just
skinwalker.
staring at you in the darkness. Yeah, there's something. I've always been more scared about things like observing in the night at somebody or in the dark versus like the alien xeno. What are those things called?
Xenomorph?
Xenomorph. Those are scary, but you kind of accept what's going on. If one came at you, you'd just be like, I think I might be dying.
It's the suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
at a
that
point.
level of accepting it, but there's a different kind of fear for your life. Like I'm fighting for my life now. How will I get out of this? There's a new kind of fear that comes into play. But just seeing someone in the darkness staring at somebody is pretty scary. So anytime that happens in movies, in the slow burn where they're building up a horror movie and the guy's at the end of the hallway just staring through the darkness at somebody, or you see the faint shape of a face in the darkness looking back, I mean, that's terrifying.
I'll agree with you.
Our old guitarist in our band used to have a fear of a bunch of emaciated children standing around his bed staring at him in the middle of the night while he sleeps. Like somehow they would appear.
Children of the Corn type.
Kind of, but way more like
Just dead children.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they're about to die. They're like emaciated and like gray skin and just kind of like sickly. He said he would even be at college and get up in the middle of the night to go to the common bathrooms and like use the bathroom and then just imagine freak himself out because he thought like,
This isn't Walker, is it?
no.
Okay, because I was about to say I'm gonna go dress up as a child and stand behind him at his desk.
Brad, an emaciated child walking around, and he would just say he'd be sitting in a stall and wonder if he just see little feet just start to gather around his.
I wonder if he
stall.
was a twin and like he absorbed his twin at birth or something. That's what,
But here's the thing: it wouldn't. He said in his fears, it would never just be like, "Hey, there's a weird kid." That would be scary. But it would be like they would gather, like the Juggalos, and they would surround his bed and stare at him. He never finished and said, "Then they did this." He had never had a fear of what they did. That they would just exist.
they're there. That's just it.
He's like, "Go ahead and die already." Yeah.
I don't know. I've never. I guess. Well, some people say all fear is irrational, but I don't know. I think. I don't know. Like, walking alone in the dark is pretty scary because of people that stand there and do nothing or look at you.
Yeah.
Like children standing there. I don't know if I've ever had any like weird phobia about things like that. Have you?
I remember there was an '80s movie about they flushed an alligator down the toilet. Like someone wasn't allowed to have a pet alligator. I think the movie might have been called Alligator. Very unique name. And they flushed the alligator down into the sewer, but then the alligator like grew and then just would attack people in neighborhoods and stuff. But I would have nightmares that it would come back through as a baby and like bite you in the rear end.
Isn't that a real thing though? Like getting that like.
I mean, I've
snakes and
heard,
gators and stuff?
I've seen crazy stuff where people on TikTok and stuff have lifted their toilet lid and there was a snake curled in there.
Nah, fam.
So I don't know if that was a plant, if snakes could really survive coming all the way up through a piping system and into your house. I mean, I'm sure anything's possible, anything happens. I've seen New York sewer rats in videos, like being in people swimming around in their toilet. So yeah, something randomly being in your toilet that should not be there.
Yeah, that's I don't like that.
So what are you guys? What are you guys scared of? What is there anything, a class of things, any phobias are fascinating to me because they're usually the psychological, irrational things. Like there's always memes and stuff from old Jerry Springer, Maury Povich shows where people like bring out like
Oh, she's terrified of pickles.
Pickles.
Oh my God.
I think someone was just scared of like cotton swabs.
Cotton swabs or marshmallows. I was gonna say marshmallows, but I think you're right. I think it's cotton swabs.
We've talked about I don't like marshmallows. I don't like the way they feel, but that's more of like a texture, like make my teeth feel weird, you know?
My girlfriend doesn't like shredded coconut.
Yeah. I mean, but in a weird, cringy way. It's more than like I don't prefer the taste of it or don't prefer.
Touching paper.
Yeah.
Touching a fresh sheet of paper.
I also don't like those like blankets that feel like a felt board.
Nah, man. Wool in general just sucks.
Yeah,
Wool
Yeah.
sucks.
So
Sorry,
that's not
cheeks.
really what I mean. That's leaning toward phobias, but that's more of like a backwards ASMR kind of thing in a way. Not really, but it's more of a cringe version of that.
It
Like,
makes my teeth hurt.
yeah, it makes your teeth feel weird.
Like taking your teeth to a chalkboard.
We used to have cringe wars in the van driving around. We talk about things to make people cringe.
Like getting a splinter under your nail.
Yeah, but we would go extreme with it. Like, hey, what if? And then it's almost like a what would you do kind of thing, but there's no option. Just what would it be like if you did this? And the answer to all of them would be terrible.
Yeah.
Like putting toothpicks under your toenails and kicking a wall.
I've ripped a lot of my nails, toe and hand, off. Just from like stubbing my toe and just ripping them straight off.
Someone said one about taking a metal file and putting it in your mouth, biting down and yanking out as hard as you can.
I've watched somebody do that before.
So that's other kind of horror. See, horror can be many different things. Drew and I were talking about this yesterday about grief and about like Black Mirror does a good job with horror, but not the way you would think, not like a monster coming to get you. You're messing with the human emotions we don't want to mess with. And it's that stuff can be very successful. So you're starting to see a lot of movies. I think they've always done that. People call them psychological thrillers, but usually a psychological thriller would be, I used Cape Fear as an example, or some guy who's coming after you for some reason. But we're talking more about, mixing the metaphysic or spiritual world or stuff like that with human emotion or technology messing with people, and very Lovecraftian actually, even though it's not about it's the fear of the unknown, not like monsters like Cthulhu, you know. But yeah, going back to what we were talking about before, we got a lot of cool stuff going on here. Really enjoying some good old work culture down there. You know, that's a good time. We always have fun things we've done in the past. We need to do more. We need to do more company activities, outings, and those kinds of things. We always have fun around Christmas time because we go to like Andretti's and.
We need to do a trampoline park.
Those look so dangerous to me.
Yeah, but I live for danger, man. No, I love trampolining.
We should take the crew to Tanktown. We've always been talking about going up there. If you don't know what Tanktown is a pretty amazing company. It's a company up in northern Georgia, Blue Ridge area. And basically they have a bunch of, I think they're World War II tanks, but a bunch of tanks. And you can pay to get in a tank and roll over cars. I mean, cars from junkyards, not like in the Winn-Dixie parking lot. Or Ingalls. They actually have Ingalls up there is what they have. Winn-Dixie's now gone. So yeah, check out Tanktown if you want to do something really interesting with your life and be very destructive in a fun way. Kind of like a rage room.
Have you ever
with a
done one
tank.
of those?
Rage rooms? No. I had some friends who have done a rage room and they said it was really fun.
I think it would be super fun.
I think there's one out in near Villa Rica, and you can go on the Spotify there, and when you rent the room, you put whatever music you want. So if you want to listen to like Barry Manilow, or you want to listen to like Rage Room Against the Machine.
Rage Room Against the Machine. I've been listening to a lot of System of a Down lately while exercising, and I think I would enjoy pummeling things while listening to System.
Yeah.
They get you going, you know?
Yes. Oh, by the way, Timbo, I don't know actually if Winn-Dixie as a company is 100% gone. We can look that up to find out if they've been out of business. I do know this, though. We grew up with Winn-Dixie around us everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember a time when Winn-Dixie there might have been more Winn-Dixies than, like, say, Kroger's. Definitely more than Publix's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it seems like Publix came in and Winn-Dixie said, I got to bow out of Georgia. So as far as the Atlanta area, I do not know where a Winn-Dixie is. I don't know how far Winn-Dixie went out into the United States anyways.
Thurman said Piggly Wiggly, but the last Piggly Wiggly I went to was in like North Carolina.
Yeah, I thought I saw a Piggly Wiggly a couple of years ago going down to Florida, like through back roads down to like Panama City from Atlanta. I might be wrong about that too.
Did y'all have Blue Stars?
I remember something called Big Star. And Big Star was just like a Winn-Dixie.
We had a Blue Star in Jasper. So Jasper's a little bit north of Ball Ground. That's where I hail from. It was just grocery store, supermarket. But I've always been a fan of Ingles, but now everything's so expensive. I literally just shop at Walmart, or Amazon.
Like their food stuff, Walmart?
Everything Walmart now. Yeah.
I don't know about like their produce and stuff like that.
It's fine.
Are you happy with the quality?
It's fine.
A lot of Walmarts now you can go get your X-rays done. You can go get MRIs.
Yeah, isn't the one on Town Lake? Wasn't you thinking about doing that for something? Didn't we discussed that at length one time?
I know that there is so we have these certain parts of our town. Marietta is a big town around here. So the Marietta Walmart has an MRI machine, I think, and other things like you get your teeth cleaned there. I think on top, everybody's always had a pharmacy.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's great for people with like not the best insurance plans and or no insurance that you need to go get an X-ray done and you go pay like, don't quote me on this, something way less.
X-rays are very expensive.
I have no clue what
insurance.
Yeah, I imagine if you go to a typical doctor and then you don't have insurance, God knows what you would pay. I don't know.
I got an X-ray of my foot and it was $480 after insurance.
Yeah,
and our insurance is pretty good, and it was still like, really?
Yeah, I think Walmart's like $80, something like that.
Oh yeah, they churning and burning right there to get all the radiation.
You drop your kids off, they're getting MRIs done. You're buying produce.
Go get some tires.
Yeah, I mean, Walmart knows what they're doing. I guess they've got to do something to fight Mr. Bezos.
Yeah, but I've been ordering off Amazon more, man, and that's something that I never thought I would do.
What's that?
Ordering off Amazon.
Really?
Like actual groceries.
Yeah, we buy all the like typical, what do you say? Like
Amazon basics.
Well, even I don't know if do they call them Amazon? I don't know what that means in Amazon world, but stuff like laundry detergents and like stuff like that. I've never bought a bell pepper from Amazon.
No, I bought some lavash bread and body armors. You can get the body armors like for super cheap. You can get a not a pallet, but a box of them, you know.
What I'm new to is all the Temu stuff.
Lord have mercy, man.
But it's crazy. They spent, I think, within the last year's time, more in advertising than any company ever on digital ads. It's like we're talking the billions.
Have you ever downloaded the app and did the whole like first time experience?
Mm-mm.
I did it. I didn't order anything because I'm not putting my credit card information in there. But dude, I'm not kidding you. They do like the spin the wheel thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for 30 minutes just infinitely re-rolling because it literally feels like gambling. You just get to re-roll, you get all these bonus spins, and you're just getting stuff for pennies on the dollar. I probably had $300 to $400 worth of, stuff, random things, that I was like, I could get all this for $7.
Yeah.
And I didn't order it because, I don't, it's just, they've already, spywared my phone, but I deleted the app, but my aunt is addicted to it. And ironically enough that you bring that up, my mom last night, she's like, look what Linda got me. And it's like, it says, it's a funny sign, but it's like a metal sign. It's like something, I love cats. You can't change that. And my mom's always had a bunch of cats. And she's like, I don't know where she got it. I said, she got it off Temu. And she's going to get her identity stolen.
Yeah, the Temu reminds me of like Wish.com.
I think it is. I think they're the same people.
Really? I just looked up T-shirts on it, and the first one.
The post office hates Temu.
Who does? The post office? Probably. I looked up T-shirts on Temu, and for some reason, the first one it showed me was all over print on a white T-shirt of an old lady eating a bomb pop.
Oh, like the Stay Salty thing?
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah,
a meme or
yeah,
something. Is that
yeah,
what that
yeah,
is?
Yeah.
I didn't know the
White-headed
meme. I was like, this has got to be a meme because why? I do like bomb pops, and because I'm a good person, I like old ladies. I don't like old ladies, if you know what I mean.
I love old ladies.
I mean, when I get older, I'm probably going to like old ladies. My wife, when she's an old lady, I'll be like, I like you.
Revert.
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 We're just kidding, Caitlin. Don't listen right now.
That's
Oh, Bucky's, Boosie's,
Boosies
line 1. What is that there on?
that come up.
What is line 1?
I don't know.
Thurman, what do you mean? Brad and I are going to Boosie's for the first time on Monday. And if we're lucky enough, we'll be going back there on Wednesday.
Thurman texted me something the other day that was like something along those lines of just where I was like, I had to get like, I got up, walked over to him like, what do you mean? What are you telling me right now? Oh, it's so funny.
For sure. If you guys would like Thurman to be on one of the episodes, just hit the star button, like buttons, and hearts, whatever format you're watching this on. So just start hitting stuff. I just placed. What? We were just having a talk the other day about budgeting, and now Timu's coming into the picture to like just spend our money. I didn't call you old. I said I'll love you when you're old. Would you not like that? So anyway,
I love the all caps in Timu too, though. That's so funny.
I almost made a meme shirt the other day, yesterday, with their logo. I wanted to say Timu-ness tees.
Timu.
Just rip their logo. I like stolen logo shirts, like
Yeah, bootlegging
spoof
is,
logos,
Yeah,
bootleg.
bootleg stuff is the cornerstone of American economics.
Yes,
I'll go ahead and say it.
one of the funniest ones ever. We worked with Fake Handshake. They have some of the funniest things. They always remind me. All those kind of memes are so like second level funny memes, like not just straightforward down the middle.
They're sub-tier, post-ironic memes, yeah.
Yeah, like still to this day, look at the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo that says Red Lobster Cheddar Bay Biscuits. I mean,
Yeah, and we do some stuff for him, and he makes a lot of his own stuff. He's a good printer, great quality content creator, and then we got the pleasure of printing the RoboCop design he made, and it says, "Don't do homework, just do cigarettes." And
was he the one who did the 311 was an inside job shirts?
maybe
I just remember, maybe that was an online shirt we did in the past.
he did a hardcore. He did like the metal. One of his big things is I think he might have been the person that invented it. Was the hardcore logo like
Britney Spears, but it's metal.
Yeah,
Or
like,
Taylor
but he
Swift.
did Gilmore Girls, and it had this metal font, and it was all distressed and super cool. And that was the first thing that we printed for him. And yeah, he's just a cool dude. I've spoke to him a couple times, and yeah, we need to. I wish you could tag people as you're talking about them in the comments on our side.
What
of
happens if
things.
you at somebody right now?
I don't think anything.
We're still learning about social media, kids. So if you want to teach us, feel free. Man, thank you guys all for having talks with us today.
Yeah, we can.
We
tag
can?
him. I can tag him on my personal account. Yeah, I tagged him, so maybe he'll get the notification and
Yeah.
go check out his stuff. Super cool.
Yeah, we should do that live. We should just start saying, "Hey, we just talked about you. Good news. Are your ears burning?" Yeah, that kind of thing.
But I remember remember that, Drew, when we tried it in the past, and I tried to at people, and it was just like, nah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is I can't go to that. I just clicked on Fake Handshake
So
to
maybe
go to it. So you might have said it, but it might
and
not
won't
have
be
functionality.
linkable. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Not clickable to viewers. Yeah, see, maybe that's what it was.
Man, our clicks aren't working. Our metal hands aren't working. No. Why do you think that's not working? That's sad because we were.
It might be. Drew, go to.
Is this working, guys? Do inverted. You do Richard Nixon. Guys, we have no clue what the people over at Apple are doing. They've hurt our feelings. Our clicks aren't clicking. Our special effects aren't doing.
What if this made the Suzuki S?
But at least someone last week guessed Brad's last middle name.
It was Josh Binkley Art.
Josh Binkley Art. We didn't figure out what we owe him something.
A firm handshake.
A firm fake handshake. That's what it is. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. I had a good time. Brad had a good time. Again, we're about to go to to a really cool thing on Monday. We're going to the Brother makes printers. You might have seen Brother's embroidery machines, printing machines. I think Brother is a household name. Like people can go to Walmart and get a Brother machine because they make a consumer line, you know. But a lot of those companies like Epson and Brother and all that stuff, they make industrial equipment as well. So they're kind of, you might have seen some of these names before. But anyways, we're going to Brother's headquarters on Monday. Well, we're heading out on Monday, but we're going out there to hang out with those guys, and they're going to show us some of their new machines, new technology, the future of digital printing. So Brad and I will be going out there to do that. We're going to hit Buc-ee's along the way, and then we're going to Tunica for a casino day night thing. So I'm thinking we should probably film some of that and a road trip with Jon and Brad stuff. So we'll probably get some footage. Because I don't know if Brad's ever, have you been to a casino before, Brad?
Yeah.
Have you ever spent the night in a casino?
No.
That's a different experience because you're like, I probably should go to bed now, but I don't have to, and I can just keep playing games.
I'm gonna be so tired because I haven't had caffeine in like a month. Matt. I think Matt found a Brother typewriter from
Really?
the 70s or 80s. He showed me a picture of it the other day. I want to say it was Matt, and it's, I mean, same logo. Like they are everywhere. They are everywhere. But that was super cool to me. It might have been a sewing machine, but I want to say it's a typewriter or like something. But it was definitely 70s or 80s.
Josh just showed up.
Heard my name, but miss what you said. We owe you something.
Was it his? He won it? Yes.
Yeah, he won it.
For guessing Lamar?
Yep.
I was shocked. It blew all of our minds. We were very impressed that you knew that. But yeah, guys, we've had a good time today, and I can't wait to connect next week, and hopefully we'll have a lot of good footage of Brad and I having a great, fun trip to hang out with Brother. And we'll film some stuff. I don't know. I'm really excited to see what they have to show us out there. And we're gonna be able to go and have a good steak dinner with them.
Barbecue.
With our brothers at Brother.
Brothers are brother. They're
gonna be
gonna
great.
spoon feed us barbecue.
I mean, if it beats the Buc-ee's brisket sandwich, then I'll take it.
I hope their brisket is dry.
I know. I hope that we don't get disappointed because I've been hearing about Buc-ee's for a long time.
Well, beaver nuggets are delicious, like the sweet popcorn type stuff.
Oh yeah, because I heard like everything there's, not everything probably, but mainly all branded their stuff, right?
I would assume, yeah.
But I mean, they have Coca-Cola Zero there.
Yeah.
Coke Zero. Anyways, guys, I had a good time hanging out. Hopefully Brad had a good time. Hopefully you had a good time. We owe some people some free stuff, free t-shirts, and we got to go over that, but we'll get them to you. Look for us next week, and thank you guys so much for walking us.
Walking with us through this journey we call life, man.
Thank you. Nice recovery. Thanks, guys. See you next week.